Hi everyone, it's Wednesday, January 25th, 2023, and you can probably hear the water running and the birds singing. Oh, and a woodpecker. I'm out in Agora Hills, which is about, for those of you who aren't in California, it's probably like 40-minute drive from Santa Monica, a little bit inland. And I'm out here because I just got done with an energy medicine session with Camille, which is always fantastic and always leaves me feeling very calm and zen-like. And then I usually walk on these trails by this creek afterwards. So that's what I'm doing. And before we get into my update, I have to show you my shoes because everybody seems to love my shoes. I've had them a week now, got them from REI. I needed some new sneaks, and these are the shoes that I got. And for some reason, people, let's see, where are they? You don't want to see my legs. Here's my shoes. Merrill. I guess I'm advertising for Merrill. Good, we got that out of the way. First things first. My update. It's been almost a month since I've updated, and what a month it's been. I think the qualifying words are holy moly. It's been a really tough month. I'm not going to deny it for 1 second. It's been tough in the fact that since November I've had some fluid buildup in my abdomen due to cancer that is causing discomfort, and it's actually been putting pressure on my digestive system, my small intestine and stomach, so it makes it very difficult to eat because I get nauseous and end up throwing it up. And it's not from chemo. I haven't had chemo in 2.5 weeks, and I don't have it until next week. They switched up my chemo. It's an every 3-week cycle now. So it's not that. It's more structural. And it's weird. This is, and yesterday I posted on Facebook about, I know it's easy, when we feel pretty good about it being in our body, we don't even give it a second thought when our body's working pretty okay. It doesn't even have to be great. It can be pretty average, meaning that you can eat, you digest, you go to the bathroom. We don't think of these things. We don't give it a second thought unless, of course, we're nauseous or we get sick to our stomach. Then, of course, all of our attention's there. But in our normal everyday, we don't think about the things that our body is doing always in every moment to allow us to be here enjoying life. And, as I've always said, in this field of health, fitness, and wellness, that the body's a miracle, it's resilient, and it is the ultimate temple to be honored and revered and to be taken care of because it houses who you are. It allows us to walk onto this planet and love the people we love and have exciting adventures and travels and cheer for sports, and it allows us to be here, this body. So I know I keep preaching that. And you don't realize it to the degree until things aren't working. And yeah, it's been hard. I'm not a quote-unquote foodie person, but I love food, and I love to eat like everybody else. And when you can't eat, like you physically can't eat, it's a problem. So you might be thinking, well, what in the world how do you go without eating? Well, here's how you go without eating. See this little backpack here? See that little thing dangling in this backpack? This is the backpack of nutrition. What do I mean by that? In this backpack, so when I'm out and about, I carry this on my back, and I have a 10-hour, I'm back on TPN, which is that nutrition IV for 10 hours a day. And there it is in there. Can you see it? So basically they take my blood labs, and the pharmacy mixes a formula of calories, protein, fats, carbohydrates, vitamins and minerals, 1,400 calories worth. And I get hooked up in the morning. Here's the port. Get hooked up in the morning. Geej hooks me up. That's 7 in the morning, and then around 5 o'clock, Stacy unhooks me, and that's my nutrition for the day. And I'm grateful. I'm grateful because this is where Western medicine saves lives. I mean, if you can't physically eat, that's a problem. So, oops, I'm sorry, this is very bumpy. So I'm grateful. I'm not happy about it, but I'm grateful. But it's so weird how when you can't eat, all of a sudden you're thinking of everything that you want to eat, even things that I wouldn't normally eat, that aren't my, like I'm laying on Camille's table and I'm thinking of frickin' macaroni salad down at the Vaughn's down the road. Why? Because maybe I've had it one other time for lunch or something. I don't even know, but like that's not normally my diet. But I was thinking of macaroni and salad, and damn, did that sound good. Odd. But what I do, what do I do? Do. There's got to be a song on there. Do. There it is. Do. I'm thinking of the song Soul Shake by Bonnie and Delaney that my mom and dad play in the band, one of my faves. Anyway, side tangent, that's how my mind works. Always a song somewhere. But what I do is I'll chew my food so I can get the flavor, but then I have to spit out. I got like a spittoon bag. And not to be gross, but that's what I have to do. At least I can get flavors in my mouth. And I chew and chew and chew, and I have to chew well anyway if I am eating for my ostomy, because it has to be very chewed well. And it's interesting how I have found enjoyment in chewing. You know, usually we chew about, let's be honest, we're usually distracted, we're eating. And we probably take 3, 4, 5, maybe 10 chews, and we're swallowing a lot of pieces whole. We don't even realize it. And then our body has to break that down. But because I have an ileostomy bag, I have to chew till it's like baby food for it to go through. So I found the enjoyment of chewing. Do you know that a lot of the pleasure in eating, just try it. I know they say chew 30 times or whatever. Chew until there's nothing. And the flavors, it's amazing. Anyway, so that's my enjoyment is when I do eat is so I'm now chewing, but I'm not swallowing. I have to spit it out. That's not so fun, but again, I just keep thinking, okay, this is temporary, this too shall pass. I went to see my surgeon yesterday because, trying to figure out like what's going on with my digestive system, that I cannot literally stomach food. And I think there's many levels to this. There's spiritual, emotional levels, solar plexus chakra, the third chakra, stomach, intestines. But also structurally. I saw my surgeon to talk about this yesterday, and with ovarian cancer, it can affect your bowels, and it can slow down digestion and motility, which is what it's doing. But there's also the factor of adhesions, the scar tissue from 3 abdominal surgeries that they don't tell you about. I've got my beef with, I have been in the heart of the medical system for 3.5 years. And let me tell you, I see the gaps, and I see the holes, and I see the disconnection. And first off, I'm grateful to Western medicine for, they've saved my life several times. So I'm not bashing them, but there are huge loops and gaps. Like, they don't tell you, well, when you get your abdominal surgeries, scar tissue is going to be a problem. It is for almost everybody that develops, and it's scar tissue is very dense and stuck tissue. So it attaches to your intestines, and it starts pulling on your intestines, and adhesions and scar tissue can affect your motility and your digestion. So not only do I have that going on, but then there's just the cancer part of it, which slows it down anyway. So I went to see an adhesion specialist yesterday, and so we're going to be working on breaking through that scar tissue to loosen it up and get the energy flowing again. Because if it's stuck, if the tissue is stuck and energy's not flowing, things can't flush and circulate and all of that. So there's that. So that's the very physical, structural part of it. But it's weird because during the day, during the morning and the early part of the day, like today, well, what time is it, 2 something, I feel almost normal. I feel like myself. But then later in the day, I start to get distended and bloated and miserable. And then sometimes nauseous, and if I've had food, I'll possibly throw it up. And even if I haven't had food, sometimes I still can get nauseous. And the evenings have been kind of challenging for me. And I can't emphasize enough that how we feel in our physical body really affects our outlook and how we see life. And let me tell you, when in the mornings, when I'm feeling good, I'm like, yeah, let's go. All is good. This too shall pass. We will get on the other side of this. And then literally later in the day, when I feel like crap, your mind just wants to go. Of course, it just wants to spiral down into worst case scenarios. And am I dying? Is this the end? It's just, I tell people that, like when you see me on these updates, or people see me, come to visit me here or there, in between the times that you see me, you're going on about your life, which is fine, of course. Of course you're going on about your life. But every moment, every second, from the time that you see me here to the time you see me there, whether it's a week, whether it's 2 weeks, whether it's a month, I'm dealing with this every moment. Like, there's no escaping. There's no escaping what I am experiencing in my body. And I can't even tell you what that's like. as I've told Stacy and Gigi, it's like the minutes turn into hours. I think there's is it Gordon Lightfoot's song, Edmund Fitzgerald's, where the minutes turn into hours or something like that. Yeah. The moments are long. When you're not feeling well, they are long. And I have to admit, I have my moments of just, like the other day, in my car, I just screamed and cried and was angry and frustrated. And, I have to admit that as I wrote in my post yesterday, like I feel like I'm living in this bubble in the last 3.5 years of I'm dealing with what I'm dealing with, and it feels like, I'm just observing life go by, and people are living their lives, and they're traveling, and they're doing this, and meanwhile I'm just kind of sitting here watching, and I'm not the only one, obviously. I mean, this is not a pity party for me. I'm not at all. I'm just sharing what I just feel like I'm sitting here observing. And what it appears is that everybody's having a good time. Nobody's got a care in the world. We know that's not true. But that's how it feels when you're dealing with like heavy duty stuff. And I admit that I'm envious. And as I wrote in my post yesterday too, people get colds, they get the flu, they even get COVID, and they're down and out for a week or two, and then they're recovering, and then they're back off with their life. And it's like I just sit there and I'm like envious. And in the meantime, I'm sitting here for 3.5 years up and down with this, and I mean, it's hard. It's freaking hard. It's hard. I'm just, I have my moments of just breaking down and crying and screaming, and, the pages in my journal basically get burned up because I'm writing so fast, that, like, come on already. And I know this is my ego speaking of, the human ego just wants things. We don't want to be uncomfortable. We don't want to be uncomfortable, especially for too long. Like, let's go. We're a comfort geared society, that humans, and I'm always amazed at animals, and I think I've talked about this before, how animals just kind of just gracefully accept where they are and what they're dealing with, unless they're really in pain, of course. But I don't know, it's just, and I just want you to know that I'm strong. I'm mentally and spiritually strong, and not so much physically strong right now, but yet my body is amazing, and I continue to be amazed and in awe of how it continues to show up, even though it is dealing with a lot. And yet I'm just in awe. But I just wanted to say that, in my moments of like true breakdown, when I hear that people are praying for me and sending me love, you don't know how much I lean into that. And I've said it before, but I lean into that like you can't believe, because there's times when I'm like, I just don't know anymore. I have those moments, of course, and that's when I'm like, I just close my eyes and just imagine you all holding me up, and I just want you to know how much it means to me. There's nobody that can do this journey alone. There's just no way, and you have to rely on others. So I'm just so incredibly grateful for the love that I am surrounded with, near and far. And since we're all energetically connected, it doesn't matter where you live. I just want you to know I feel it. And I'm so incredibly grateful to all of you. You're what keeps me going when I feel like I'm having one of those moments. And Stacy and Gigi and Jan and even my mom and dad have seen me in my Aaron, just in my breakdown moments. Moments that aren't pretty. And not to be, put visuals in your head or anything, but this is reality here, I mean, the other night I was taking an Epsom salt bath, and, here I got my bag attached, and, long story short, I get out of the tub to empty my bag, and not only am I emptying my bag, but all of a sudden I just get this wave of nausea, and I just start throwing up. And, Stacy comes in the bathroom, and, there I am, butt naked, throwing up. And, I mean, it's like, these aren't pretty moments. I mean, your dignity, your pride, and, I've said to her and Gigi, and, like, you're not seeing me in my best, and I joke about it. And they're like, Lisa, I mean, can you, yeah, we don't need to go any more into that, but these are, and I'm not applauding or saying anything about how amazing I am. I'm not. But what kind of amazes me about myself, and I just have to say this because it's like, I feel like sometimes I'm living this reality of being in this body, of being in this human experience. And at the same time, I feel like I'm like my higher self, just observing it all neutrally and going, I know this doesn't physically feel comfortable in any way, shape, or form, but I can see the purpose of it all, the higher purpose, and it blows me away. It blows me away. It's like I can be in these realities at the same time. But what was I going to say about that? Oh, that here I can be like just in the most ugly moment. And then a half hour later, I'm joking and being silly and being stupid, my stupid self, and having fun with Gigi and Stace or whoever. And that's what I mean, like it is literally moment to moment. It is moment to moment. It's not even day to day. It's moment to moment. So I just feel like I am, if any of you have been tumbled by a wave in the ocean and you feel like a Raggedy Ann doll and you're flying all over the place and your legs are flailing and your arms are flailing and you have no idea which way is up, it's not a good moment to be in. Let me just tell you that. I practically died in waves. But where you just are disoriented and you have no idea, like you have no control, you're just being tossed. That is how I feel on a day-to-day, moment-to-moment basis. Like, try and grab onto something, oh God, that's taken away, just what I'm seeing, I mean, the gifts and the insights and the wisdom that I'm being shown, I mean, it is a spiritual awakening like no other. And I feel like I'm being given the gift of seeing what life really is here. What are we doing here? Because feel like I've been stripped of everything that I thought I was, even though I'm still Lisa. But my body will never be the same, no matter what. I'll be dealing with stuff, abdominal issues probably. Things have changed forever. And, sometimes I also go into a place of where you kind of feel sorry for yourself. Of course, that's real. Of like, wait a minute, this isn't what I planned. This isn't how I saw my life. I mean, I saw me just living healthy and long and to my 90s and this and that. And this is where we get, as humans, we get caught up and we we just think that we just have all this time, and we just think it's going to go like this, and this is how it's supposed to go. And then life throws this curveball that we never saw coming. And then we think, well, wait a minute, that wasn't supposed to happen. This cancer's not supposed to happen to Lisa. Like, this isn't how I saw my life. Like, I don't even know how long I'm going to be here. I mean, and that's the thing. None of us do. None of us do. We're fooling ourselves if we think we have 30 years, or none of us do. We don't know what a day will bring. And that's not to be feared of. It's just, or fearful of. It's just, we just don't know. But we think we do. We think we know so much. And, you know, I talk about the egoic mind, the identity that we identify ourselves as a person in this life. And we think this is who we are. And then life says, not quite. You're so much more than that. You've defined yourself, you've put yourself in this box or that box, or, you know, when people say, well, I'll never change, or that is a choice. That is a choice. This is who I am. No, it's not. It's a choice. And this is what this is showing me, is that life is saying, there's so much more to who we are. But because we define ourselves and limit ourselves, we think we're this small being walking this planet. And I'm just being shown that we really are just pure consciousness in essence, and just observing and walking this path. And there is no, you know, things happen in life. Shit happens. You know, I remind myself, like, Lisa, you're not the only one who's had a major life change. You know, your life has changed course. You know, I think of parents who lose their kids in school shootings, or their kids have been kidnapped, or car accidents happen, and wait a minute, people just got married and then the next day they're in a car accident. I mean, we think that life is supposed to be fair. Who created that illusion? And what is fair? That's a human construct. Life is just happening. When a tree burns in a fire, is it saying it's not fair? Or is that just nature? We are a part of nature, and we can be built up. These bodies can be built up and torn down in a second. But who are we? The essence of who we are with God and the divine is the same. But we don't lean into that expanded part of ourselves. We only lean into the very limited belief and vision of who we think we are. And what cancer is showing me, and this is what I'm so grateful for, as painful as it is on a daily basis, of being afraid of, like, am I going to die? Am I going to be here in a year from now? I mean, those thoughts go through my head. Are you kidding me? But then I keep visualizing myself. I can see myself doing so much yet. So it's just, oh my God. If you've been following me here on this, I know I'm all over the map, and I apologize, but I should end this because it's almost 30 minutes. Oh my God. I apologize. Okay. I love you all. Onward and upward, one moment at a time. Just when you wake up every morning and you feel pretty good, it's a good day. It's a really good day, and it's a good moment. And life is moments. So, I love you. You're making a difference. Trust me, you're making a difference in my life. Thank you for all your support in various ways. And I'll keep you posted. All right. Thank you for hanging in there if you listen to this whole thing. Oh my God. Okay. Love you. When we heal our heart, we heal the world. Bye.